This is going to be very entertaining.
How's it going, my dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to the channel, Dude Memes. My name is Logan, and today we're going to be doing some damage testing on the Big Apple Collectibles Funko Pop Armored Shipper Boxes right here that can withstand over 300 pounds of pressure. Now let me show you the inside of these Armored Shipper Boxes right here. They actually have a foam padding surrounding the entire Funko Pop that you place in there, which can fit either a pop with no protector in there or a soft protector. No pop stacks will be allowed to fit in there, unfortunately. But it surrounds the entire Funko Pop, and the padding comes with a top cover as well to cover the top, and it's about this thick, as you can see. Some pretty decent foam padding, but this is a standard cardboard box. Supposedly it's reinforced enough to withstand 300 pounds of pressure when applied. They even claim you can jump on it without worrying about damaging the Funko Pop inside. And go ahead and just get a closer look at the actual cardboard of the box. It's nothing fancy, not crazy reinforced. It's really as simple as you can get. It may be just better quality than your average box that you might ship a Funko Pop in, but nothing out of the ordinary that would make this some crazy, indestructible type of shipper box. However, they do claim that it does withstand over 300 pounds of pressure, and we're going to find out if that's true. As I mentioned earlier, these are from Big Apple Collectibles. They do sell them on their site for $7.99, and they did not send me this. It's not a sponsored. I wanted to test this out for myself, and I am still kind of baffled that they claim to say these withstand over 300 pounds of pressure when applied, and your pop will still be safe inside. Now let's go do our damage test. Now to start off our first damage test, we're going to be using our gold Stanley in this box. As you guys can see, we'll apply the padding back in there and close this guy up. Now the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to use, alright, there we go, we're going to be using our 10-pound weights as we have right here. We have 8 of these and then 4 5-pound weights. And one at a time, we'll apply each weight onto the top of the box. It will hit a total of 100 pounds. If it can withstand 100 pounds, I will then remove all the weights and then apply it myself onto the box and see if it can withstand my 200 pounds exactly. $80 pounds. So far, I don't see any damages yet. The top of the box is creasing a little bit, but let's keep going. $100 pounds. So far so good. The box is withholding all the weight on there. Now this is only 100 pounds, and it says it can withstand 200 more additional pounds on top of it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to remove all the weight, and I'm going to apply my own weight on there, which is a solid 200 pounds, and I will show a video of me on a weight scale so you guys can believe that if you want, and we'll see how it can withstand the 200 pounds of myself. Now for the next test, we're going to be applying my full body weight of 200 pounds on top of this box. I will put my feet on there as evenly as I can. I will not shake, I will not jump. I will simply let it hold my 200 pounds. And as it's stated in the description, it said it can withstand over 300, so this challenge should be no problem for it. Without any further ado, let's try it out. Okay, as you guys already probably just saw, the top of the box just caved in on the front side, although it's still holding the rest of my weight. But I'm going to step off of it now. I'm not going to jump, and see what the damage is inside. Now let me hold up the box and show you. It was actually the back side, and this is where it kind of got crushed in a little bit. As you can see, it got creased in pretty bad on the back side right here. Not so much damage up on the front side, but it did have a bit of a creasing, as you can see, go through the back side of this box. Although it held on most of the time, let's see the damage that it could have caused inside. We are actually perfectly fine. The Stanley is perfectly fine. However, that was a bit of a scare, and only 200 pounds. So without any further ado, let's continue on to the next pressure test. Now for this next pressure test, we'll be using the same box just so we can see the full and through of how much it can withhandle my weight on top of it. But we'll be adding an additional 50 pounds of weight I'll be holding onto myself as I stand on this box. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Okay, I am withholding 50 pounds of weight on my additional 200 pounds. The box is not completely smashed, but it is compromising a little bit more. Let's go ahead and see what the damage is now. So as you guys can see from here, it is the same area where it is causing to fall in a little bit. It is crushed up a little bit more. So let's go ahead and see if the actual Funko Pop was damaged. As far as I can tell, there's no additional damage that is on there. Nothing has caused the actual Funko Pop to be damaged. This padding of the foam is actually very helpful instead of it just being a cardboard box. But you can see on the back side, right where my thumb is, that's where it is caving in. But the foam is actually saving it from actually crushing the Funko Pop. Okay, for the final weight test, we'll be doing a full 300 pounds. This is very heavy. Now I have all the weights in my hands. I'll be stepping on now. All right, this is 300 pounds. I'm going to let go of the weights so I don't die. Woo! All right, that was kind of as expected. That was total of 300 pounds of pressure applied of my body weight, which was 200, and then the 100 pounds of weights in my hand. And you can see that the backside did blow out. Of course, it creased up the sides a bit. Now, these side pieces are a bit more reinforced. They didn't really suffer that much damage, but you can see the top did, and creased up and folded back. Did a pretty tough job on the backside. But let's see the inside of our box and see the pop, if it survived the damage. All right, and it is damaged. Yeah, not a surprise there. You can see where the sticker is at. This whole backside has been punched out, crushed up, and towards the back of the bottom side too, right here. Not horrible, but that is definitely going to ruin anyone's value of an expensive pop. And unfortunately, this does not withstand over 300 pounds. It pretty much crushed up at 300 pounds and did okay at 200, but it was still risky even then. But let's continue on with some more damage tests to see what else this can handle. And just before we move on to the next damage test, go ahead and take a look at the actual damage we've seen on the Stanley Pop. And do not worry, this is an actual replica. This is not the real deal. But if someone is shipping a nice pop, that 300 pounds of pressure will in fact crush the box and possibly damage your Funko Pop. And that is not what we want to see, so that is a bit concerning. But let's continue on with the rest of the damage tests on our other boxes that we have. Now for our next damage test, we're going to be doing a jump test of my weight onto this armored shipper box. This is a new shipper box, and this is going to be holding our pre-release Naruto inside. Hopefully this can withstand 200 pounds of me jumping on it. It said, like in the description, that we can jump on it with our weight and withstand 300 pounds of pressure, which is not true, unfortunately. But let's see how it's going to do with my weight on top of it. Now, I'm not going to thrust my feet down, but I am 200 pounds, so the weight of me falling on it should do some type of damage. But let's see, we're just going to do a simple jump. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was actually pretty bad. That was only 200 pounds of me jumping, not even a foot and a half maybe into the air and landing on it. Let's go ahead, step off, and see what the damage is. Okay, so this is kind of similar to what happened to the last box with when we applied 200 pounds of pressure and even 250 pounds of pressure. You can see that the backside is giving out first opposed to the rest of the box. But that was actually not bad because as we saw in the last one, the foam saved it from getting damaged until we applied 300 pounds of pressure. And the rest of the box did okay. It was giving out a little bit on the sides that you can see. But let's go ahead and open this up and see what the damage is on our pre-release Naruto. Alright. Okay, so we do have damage. We definitely do have damage. And let's go ahead and take it out so you guys can get a closer look. I can already see the bottom of the box did take a hit, and even the top. Yeah, you can see right here. Let that focus in a bit. Alright, there we go. Right here we do have a tear on the corner. A little bit of creasing around here, backside. On the side right here has creased out and popped out a bit. And even the bottom of the box definitely buckled out and gave way to the pressure of 200 pounds jumping on top of it. That is quite unfortunate, not as described in the actual description of this product. These shipper boxes, I definitely think they are a good thing, but they are not described to withstand 300 pounds of pressure, let alone 200 pounds, even when you jump on top of it. Now for one of our final damage tests, we're going to be using this new armored shipper with a new Funko Pop inside, and this baseball bat, and see how hard of damage this can take from this baseball bat. Right inside here, we have the Agent Venom Thunderbolts, brand new. We're going to go ahead and give it a swing. Alright, so it did take a bit of damage on the front flap, as you guys can see. Just a bit of a creasing when it was hit with the end of the bat, but nothing else looks bad. Let's go ahead and give it one more swing, and then we'll check the condition of the Funko Pop. Now I'll try to hit it where there isn't damage yet. Alright, so that actually went over the fence, but we did hit the backside this time. It did suffer pretty much the same amount of damage as the front flap, but maybe we'll give it one more swing, but let's just check to see the condition of it so far. Now let's go ahead and check the inside to see if there was any damage occurred. And yes, we do have a little bit of damage. Let's take this out a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, yep, definitely some damage. Alright, so if you guys can see that tear on the corner right there, the box has already been creased up a bit. I apologize for the poor lighting, but you can see the crease on the actual box. And there is some weird, paint or something that came off. I don't know where that came from, but that was not there before. But yeah, we did suffer a little bit of damage. Nothing crazy. I mean, it did get hit with a baseball bat twice now, but this is not too bad from what I was expecting to happen. Nonetheless, there is damage that was occurred on the actual box. Where's the money, Lebowski? All right, that probably did it in for that. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, that, yeah, I think we damaged it pretty good. Yeah, there seems to be some weird paint that was coming off. Matter of fact, you know where that paint is coming from? I think it's actually coming from the tongue. It was hit so hard that the tongue rubbed off some paint on the actual window. Isn't that something? Okay, for the final pressure test, we're just gonna be throwing this against the ground, and we have a brand new ugly Varmic pop in there, and we're gonna be using this to see how it can withstand hitting the ground against hard surfaces, and we'll throw it a few times as hard as we can to see how much it can take. All right, the box popped out a little bit on the front flap and just a little ding right there, but I believe there will be no damage after that, but let's throw it a little bit harder and see what we can get. All right, let's see and check if there's any damage. I don't think we'll see any on this, just because, yeah, I mean, this pop is perfectly fine. However, do you guys see? Right on here, there's that paint again. I'm not entirely sure what that is from, but whatever it is causing damage even to the side. I know it's very difficult to see, and I might show it inside, but something's coming off every time this box hits something hard. Honestly, not that bad. We do have some slight damage around the actual Funko Pop. A little damage on the corner, the side of the box caved in just a tiny bit. But nothing horrible, actually. I mean, these boxes are not that bad, but I do believe they cannot withstand over 300 pounds of pressure like it says in the description of the product. Well, that is a wrap for our Big Apple Collectibles Funko Pop Armored Shipper Boxes, and we tested out a few of them to see how they do under heavy weight. Of course, getting hit with a baseball bat, getting thrown and kicked around, and even standing on it or jumping on it like they said that we could, and apparently it just can't withstand 300 pounds of pressure. And to be quite honest, I'm not really that surprised that we saw the box start to cave in once it hit around 250 to 300 pounds of pressure. However, I do think it's a little bit misleading that they put that in the product description, even though it really didn't even survive at 250 pounds of pressure, let alone 300 pounds of pressure, or even when I jump on it with my full body weight of 200 pounds. These boxes are still great to ship your Funko Pops in and have the utmost care and security with it. However, it's just not going to be able to withstand such heavy amount of pressure like it's described, so I would recommend that Big Apple Collectibles at least amend that in the description. These are great for shipping Funko Pops, and they're very secure compared to the normal boxes we might use and throw some bubble wrap in there. These are definitely a more secure method, and of course this foam is definitely a lifesaver, I would say. It's not something that you usually put in your Funko Pop boxes, but this is actually a very good tool to use in these boxes, and I think it prevented a lot of additional damage. But like I said before, it's just not going to withstand that heavy amount of pressure that it was described to be. So at the end of it all, I would get this Armored Shipper Box about a 7 out of 10 rating. It does the job well, but it is not described to withstand heavy amounts of pressure. Nonetheless, I still recommend you guys use these. They're about $7.99 on BigAppleCollectibles.com. This is not sponsored, anything like that. They didn't ask me to do this. I did this out of my own free will. I bought a few boxes to see how much pressure it could actually withstand. We found out, and it's still a good box. It's just not made for heavy amounts of pressure like it was described. Alrighty, my dudes and dudettes, this was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys found this helpful. And like I always say, enjoy what you collect. Let other people enjoy what they collect. And remember, Always have fun with it. See ya!